I had gotten asked to do like a chit-chat get ready with me, and I never really do those because I always think I don't really have that much to say, but then I was thinking about it, and I guess that not everybody on my channel knows me, and I always just think, well, only my mom and my daughter watch my videos, but that's probably not true. So I figured that while I get ready today and do my makeup, I would just kind of just ramble, talk about random things in my life, and just casually get ready and talk to you guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start getting ready and try to think of things to say. As always, priming. So yesterday was my daughter's very first day of school. She started kindergarten, and she was a lot more ready than I was. She hopped right up on that bus with no hesitations, and I guess I thought she would have them. It's a good thing she didn't, but I don't know, I guess as a mom you always think they're gonna like step back and need you, but she flew off and she had a great day. And today she kind of woke up with that attitude like, I go to school now, so I run the world. But she got back on the bus today and she's off doing well, I'm sure. Her brother, not so much. He's not doing so good with her being gone. He's always had her right there, so he's just kind of looking for her everywhere he goes, and he wanted to get on that bus with her today and go to school. But I'm just using the Ardell Wax, and I'm going to go in with the Bodiography powder. But other than that, we're just trying to adjust around here to not having her. You know, I've been a stay-at-home mom for the last several years, so it's been different with not having her around all the time. Even with it only being the second day, I just kind of feel myself trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, it just kind of seems awkward, like I just don't know what to do. And like I said, even with, I guess, like my son, you know, he's kind of like, alright, well, Sissy's not here to show me the way, so what do I do? And now it's like, my son's kind of moping, so what do I do? And she's not here talking my ear off, so I don't really have much to do other than just kind of wait for her to get home. Trying to think. I guess I could say a little about myself. For those that don't know me, I am 25, mother of 2. I have a daughter and a son, if you didn't catch that. They are 5 and 2. My son will actually be 3 here in a couple weeks. We're going to be doing a Minion birthday party at his request. He's really into that Minion game. It's out right now, and he's gotten pretty much the rest of the house into it too. And their dad and I like to do a lot of crafts when it comes to the birthday parties. We don't want to just go buy everything. Like, we'll buy the plates and stuff that are the theme, but we try to make the theme ourselves instead of just getting, you know, the basic party items. We want to try to go outside the box a little bit and see what we can create. And we usually have a lot of fun doing it, and the kids get involved and create things. We did, for our son's first birthday party, we did a Lorax birthday party, and the house that we lived in at the time, we had an old stump out in the backyard, and we put all the rocks around it and had the one out in the front, and we still have that rock out because Brandon just loves it so much he wouldn't let us get rid of it when we moved. But we like to just kind of make the party our own instead of just making a traditional birthday party. But sorry for all the awkward pauses. I guess I just don't really know how to go about these videos. I'm doing the best I can. I guess I never really talk all that much while I do my makeup. It's kind of, you don't really think about it until you try to do it. And then before I went to make this video, I kept trying to think of things to talk about, and I would just, you know, kept telling myself, oh, it'll come to you, it'll come to you. And I guess they slowly do. But, I don't think I've ever mentioned anything about my fiance. His name is Austin, for, like I said, those that don't know. And again, I always just think that the people on my channel are just people that know me, which I appreciate it. I love my friends. I actually started my channel because of my dear friend Alexa. She pushed and pushed me to start making videos, and I finally did. And because of my friends that are on my channel, I'm always just so direct. I always feel like the people I'm talking to already know me, so they don't need to be told anything. So it's kind of different for me to think about that there's people on here who have pretty much no idea who I am. But okay, back to what I was saying. My fiance, we've been together for over 6 years now. He pretty much does everything, but the main thing he likes to do is tile and flooring. And with that, it's pretty much like a construction trade, so he's all over the place. It's never in one area, and generally never in our area, so he has to travel a lot, which I'm kind of used to because my dad's a truck driver, so he was, you know, all over the place all the time when I was growing up. So I tend to get used to it, but, you know, with the kids, it was different. They, you know, took more time. With our son, it's kind of always how it was. But with our daughter, you know, she just had her dad all the time, and then, boom, he has to travel. But she's slowly gotten used to it, and I think she enjoys her time with him a lot more when he is around. So it kind of evens out in the end. I'm just going to highlight under that brow real quick, and then I'm going to go into my eyes. But we have had a great relationship, and he is so good with our kids. He is a big kid himself, so he has no troubles going out and just playing. Whatever they're trying to play, he'll do it. They will make a toy out of just about anything. And we actually he has these things called doodle bugs, and it's something he uses to clean the tile after you grout it. And we have one stuck up on the roof right now because him and the kids decided to use it as a frisbee. So pretty much anything that we have around, it's gonna get used as a toy at some point. But he loves just to play about anything. The kids love being outside. Yesterday, when my daughter got off the bus, the first thing she wanted to do was go ride her bike. We definitely like to try to be outside as much as we can, but like I said, with their dad traveling a lot, it can be hard for us to go and do things like camping. We like to go camping, but we can't do it as often as we would like to because there's just not the time that we would like that they're available. But we try to at least get them outside every day so that, you know, they're getting that sunshine and that playtime in, because if they're cooped up for too long, they get pretty rambunctious. I'm using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I can't remember if this is just the regular formula. Let me check. I got it when I had gotten a palette. It was on sale at Sephora, and it had come with it in the palette. I'm not generally too picky about primers. I just always have to have one because my eyelids are very, very hooded. So if I don't use one, my eyeshadows will crease really badly, and just within a few hours it does not look very good. Yeah, it just says the long-lasting eyeshadow base, eyeshadow primer potion, just the regular formula. I am going to use my Tartelette palette today. I've kind of been into like the simple eye look, and then kind of like making the face glowy and sparkly a little bit. So I'm kind of just going to do probably just a brown sweep over the eye and blend out in the crease a little bit, and then maybe put a little highlight in the inner corner just to brighten it up just a little bit. I'm going to take just I'm just going to use this Luxie brush and use the shade Wanderer from that Tartelette palette. Really enjoyed this palette. There's not a lot of all matte palettes. It seems like with almost any eyeshadow palettes you see these days, there's a lot of shimmery shadows. And I've actually had people asking me, you know, have I seen any all matte eyeshadow palettes from the drugstore? So if you know of any, please let me know down below, because I would greatly appreciate that. Because it seems that that's the main thing people are always looking for, is matte eyeshadows, because the shimmery ones are a dime a dozen, but it seems like it's really hard for people to find, you know, good matte ones. And that's why I love this palette, because I know that if I'm looking for just, you know, a good flat matte look, I can just whip this one out and I got all of it right there. But with this one, some people, you know, they don't want to pay the high-end price tag, so they're looking for like a cheaper drugstore version or a dupe, which I'm always looking for too. I love going to the drugstore and finding new stuff. I actually just went there. I'm going to use a lipstick today. I am addicted to the Wet n Wild Megalast lipsticks. They're like $2 almost anywhere you go, and I love them. I actually have to keep a list so that I don't double buy them, because I have so many of them already. I think I have like 18 or 19 now. They're just so inexpensive, it's hard to say no to them. But I want to try that one out today. But when I went there, I was looking and I found that there are so many new foundations coming out. It seems like every brand is coming out with new foundations and new formulas, basically leaning towards matte. Everybody's loving the matte look, and I love matte foundations or stuff like the finishing sprays that are matte, because I have naturally oily skin, so the matte helps me to keep the oil at bay for a lot longer. I think to soften that up, I'm just going to take Supermom, a real light color, just kind of blend that out and bring it up as my highlight too. I've been seeing actually a lot of new higher end palettes come out too, and I was wondering what you guys out there were thinking of them and what you think would be the best, because I'm looking into getting another palette. I don't generally buy a ton of makeup just to buy makeup. I do love makeup and I love growing my collection, but I am pretty frugal and I don't like to just buy a ton of things. So I like to kind of like see what's out there, weigh my options, and see what's going to be the best. So if you guys have any opinions on some of the newer stuff that's coming out, please let me know, because I'm going to be going over that pretty soon and probably looking into getting a new palette. So I would like your guys' opinions on that. I'm just taking a light shimmery shadow by Pacifica, I believe it's called Ethereal, and placing that in my inner corner to warm it up. Okay, next I'm going to go into my foundation, and this is another thing that I see all the time that differs, is some people use a brush to put on their foundation and other people use beauty blenders. Now I always use a beauty blender to blend out my concealer, because I just kind of like the way that it works better than a brush for me in that area. But a lot of people say that the beauty blender is the best for all over your face. And see, I have a generic one, so I'm wondering if that may make the difference too, if that's maybe why I don't care for it as much as I like my foundation brush. But I do see that a lot of people go back and forth on that, whether the beauty blender or the brush is better. And there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to blend that out. I actually wore a lot of eye makeup in high school, but I never used to wear foundation at all. And actually, foundation or lipstick, blush, any of that stuff. I really never did anything but eye makeup. And I never used to wear it because I could never find a shade that matched, and I always had that like line down here, and I never knew how to like blend the makeup down your neck. And you still have to find, you know, a color that matches your neck, but I never really knew, I guess, how to use it, so I just didn't. And I think that's like the main reason I started watching YouTube videos, is because I always liked my makeup, but you know, you always like look at it and you're like, but it could be better. And so I started watching the videos, and you know, you just start slowly doing things. You're like, okay, I'm gonna try this, and then you try that, and you start getting good at that, and then you move on to the next thing. And like I would watch videos, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna start wearing foundation. That looks like something that I would actually like. And then I started seeing people do all this stuff with concealer, and I'm like, oh, I would never do that. I wouldn't like that. And then, you know, about a month later of watching the videos, you're like, well, I might like to do that. And then you find yourself buying all these different things. But I do think that concealer is another one of those things, like foundations. I struggle finding my shade, and that's why I use the same one over and over again. I use the MAC NC15, which I do think I might like the NC20 just a little bit better. This one's a little bit bright, but I just kind of blend it out and use like a setting powder over it. But I do find it's a hard shade match. But I do find that with makeup, there are a lot of times with myself and other women where it's, you watch videos or you see women, it's like, oh my gosh, that's so much, I could never do all that, or I would never want to do all that. And then you find yourself doing it, or have someone do it for you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this. You just fall in love with it. I find that makeup is just something you easily can fall in love with, and I always have people asking me how I did that, or can I do that for them, and it just makes you want to teach them, because it's like, yeah, it's a lot of steps sometimes, and it can take a lot of time, but it's just a lot of fun. Sorry, this is just all over the place. I feel like I'm talking about a million different things all at the same time. Okay. For my under eyes today, I'm going to try a new setting powder. It is the yourMinerals, the yourMinerals Sweeten Translucent Veil. I always get nervous about translucent powders because they're white in the little jar. But I'm going to try it because, you know, what's the worst can happen? You just have to wipe it off. So we're going to try it if I can ever get the little cover out of there. This is something I got in my BoxyCharm last month, and I actually have this month sitting right over there, and I'm like chomping at the bit to open it, but I like to do my BoxyCharm and my Ipsy together, and this is the first time in the last several months that they didn't come together. So I'm just like waiting for Ipsy to come in the mail so that I can do that video, so that I can see what's in there, because you always see the first 3 items. Well, if you're on their Instagram and Facebook, you'll get to see the sneak peeks, but there's always 2 more items that are in there that you don't know what they are. And aside from that, I always tend to love the items in there, so I'm always really excited to get in there and just start playing with them. And I had seen some pretty good items. I saw that there was a brush in there, and oops, sorry about that. And so far, every brush that I have gotten in there, I have loved, and I use pretty much every time I do my makeup. So I always get excited when I get brushes in my BoxyCharm, because they never seem to put bad brushes in there. Okay, this seems to be setting it pretty good. It does seem like it gives it like a white effect, but it's supposed to be, you know, brightening, so I would say overall not too shabby. Okay, then I'm just going to go in with the rest of my face with my regular MAC medium powder. This is one of those things, I did say I was frugal, but there's certain things I feel that I'm kind of a makeup snob about, and this is one of them. I love my MAC powder, and I know it costs a lot, but I kind of outweigh the cost because it lasts me forever. I am not one of those people that does hardcore makeup every day, and even when I do, I usually do use my MAC powder every time I do my makeup, but I don't do my makeup every day. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I don't always leave the house, and I don't always just feel the need to put makeup on, so I'm usually just barefaced. So it's not like I'm going through one of these, you know, every couple of weeks. You know, it's a lot longer span of time for me, so I can kind of justify it. It's not such a big spend for me. But I think even if I did go through it one every month, I would probably still buy it. I like it that much. Okay, so now I've set my face, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up the face with my bronzer, blush, and highlighter, and then I'll go and finish the eyes and do the lipstick, and we will be done. So today for bronzer, I'm going to use the Model Coat. I know, big shock, I always use Park Avenue Princess, but I thought maybe I'd be a little different today. This is a really glittery, shimmery bronzer, and I figured since I was going to go so light on the eye look that I would kind of brighten up my face with a little bit of shimmer with my bronzer, highlight, and blush. So I'm just going to go around and frame my face as usual. And then instead of doing like a contour, I'm just going to just kind of like carve out slightly there, not use my normal defining brush. I'm just going to put a little color there. And I feel that, like, I know I do use a lot of makeup, but I still feel that, like, you can get lighter looks out of it when you use a lot of makeup. I just find that I like the way my makeup looks when I do all the extra steps. And I have found that I can do it in a timely manner. It just seems that when I do my makeup, I get easily distracted. Like, and it's not even about my kids or anything. Like, you know, you start doing your makeup and it's like, oh, let me check Instagram. And, oh, I think somebody texted me. It's like you just find random things to get preoccupied with because you feel like it's taking forever, but you're really the one making it take forever. So I'm just going to lightly put that blush on. Oh, I'm using a City Color blush, and it is in Fresh Melon. It's kind of a bright color, that's why I'm kind of lightly putting it on, so that I do get a nice blush color, but that I don't go overboard. Because I do kind of have naturally red cheeks. Thank you, Mom and Grandma. So I tend to try to go light with my blushes at first and build them up to make sure that, like, you know, as I get warm throughout the day, my cheeks do not get overly red. Okay. And over top of that, I'm going to use my NYX Illuminator in Ritualistic. I really like this one. First, I think it's just white powders. I get nervous because you just think it's going to look white all over your face. But it's actually one of my favorites because I feel like it's still, even though it is a white powder, with all the glitters in it, it still gives off a kind of a gold reflect. So I really like this one, and I tend to put it everywhere. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw on my finishing spray because I'm going to use waterproof mascara anyway. It doesn't need any more sticky. Okay. Before I do that, I am going to go in and tightline just a little bit. Sorry, I just covered you up with my mirror. Just so I have a little bit fuller of a look. I don't tend to wear a lot of eyeliner or even do a lot of winged eyeliner looks. I do want to start doing them because I have seen a lot of looks that I really like with winged eyeliner, so I want to try to do some, but generally I just tend to tightline. That way it just kind of gives the eyes a fuller look before you put on your mascara. And then also another trick you can do is to take a white or a nude eyeliner and just run it down in your waterline, and it kind of helps to give your eye a more open look. just kind of helps to make the eye pop and make you look more awake. And I swear, no matter what I do, my eyes always water when I put anything in my waterline. Okay, so for my top lashes, I'm going to use the Voluminous Miss Manga Rock. I've been loving this mascara. Normally, I can't use mascaras, like, right away. Like, I'll use them, and then the first time, you know, they work okay, but I'm like, okay, I'll try you again in a week. Because generally, I just do not get any kind of a curl or hold, really, because I kind of have just stick straight lashes. But I'm finding that with this one, it has a really good formula, and I can get a good curl out of it, and it holds well. But this one is the waterproof formula. I know a lot of people do not like waterproof mascaras because they're hard to come off. I personally would rather have it be hard to come off than have to sit there and curl my lashes forever. Because as much as I love wearing false eyelashes, I just don't really think I need them to pick my daughter up from the bus. So I don't tend to wear them on a day-to-day basis. I just like to try to get my natural lashes to do as much as I can. Sorry for all the awkward positionings. I need to get a lighted mirror that I can put behind my camera so that I don't have to do any weirdness. Because I do have a large mirror behind my camera, but I also have a light right in front of, okay, it's right in front of the mirror and right behind the camera. So basically right where I would look behind the camera, there's a lamp. So I can't really use the camera while I film for you guys, so I kind of try to make the best of it. Okay, for the bottom lashes, I am going to use the MDM Flow. I like this for the bottom lashes because the brush isn't super thin, but just the way it's kind of, I don't know, just the way it's formed, it works for me in my bottom lashes. So I'm just going to go ahead and give them a quick coat. And then we are going to move on to the lips. And I don't know how many of you saw or how many of you that watch my videos that get BoxyCharm, but they had sent out an email and a video about this because of the packaging. It can't get air into it, so you had to take out the wand, put it back in, and then pump it like 10 times in order to get like the formula to be, you know, all moved around and actually ready to use. So the first time I used it, it worked okay, but I remember doing a video using it, and I was like, yeah, it works pretty good. And then afterwards, I found my lashes kind of falling. But then after I used it again, I was like, oh yeah, it actually does hold, you know, once the formula is actually mixed around and you're using it the right way. Okay, so for lips, I'm going to use the Ozone pencil by Urban Decay. I'm going to use just the clear pencil because I just want to see the full color of the lipstick without anything under it. My lips are generally pretty pigmented, that's why I kind of left the foundation on them that rubbed over them. Usually I wipe that off just because I can't stand the feeling of the foundation on them. But it kind of helps when you're wanting to see the natural color of a lipstick. You can, if you don't have a lot of lip liners or you don't have any at all, you can just take your foundation and rub it right over your lips and it'll help to kind of blank it out. Some people even use concealer. I tend to be not so super picky, and I'll just rub my what's ever left over on my foundation brush on there and see how that goes. Okay, the new lipstick that I got from Wet n Wild is called Just Peachy. And it is and of course I rubbed it right on the cap. A very pretty peachy pink color. I've been really into these colors lately. I normally like really dark, vibrant colors, but I guess since it's been summer, I've been really getting into the brights. But I know once fall hits again, I'm going to be right back to all my vampy colors. I actually really like that color, and this formula is really creamy. It's a little more pink tone than I thought it would be, and it is a little patchy, but usually if I just do another coat and rub it through, it does pretty good. So there's that color. Not too bad. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this all over the place rambling chit-chat tutorial. Well, get ready with me / tutorial, I guess. If you guys like these, please let me know. I will try to do more of them. I am hoping to be able to do my BoxyCharm and Ipsy video later this week if my Ipsy comes in. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to try to get on a better schedule with my videos so that I can get them out to you guys sooner. I'm hoping to do a hair video here soon. I had a request for some more quick and easy hair videos, so I'm hoping to do that. Again, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!